Holidays nale நம்ம GT Holidays தான் South India's #1 travel brand.
Rubilux Rockfort Pain.
I love how you just say 3 days happened like it just happened.
It just happened.
Right.
I was in New York. I was hosting a Bollywood evening, and Raju Hirani was attending that award function. And he just asked me, he's like, Mona, you know, I'm writing something and I want you to read and be a part of it.
Hello, Monasingh, better
Hello.
known as Amir Khan's mommy.
Yes, that too.
Yeah, that's like, wow, that's really, I think you must be the oldest person I'm interviewing. Welcome to Galatta Plus.
Thank you, pleasure.
We were just discussing before, sometimes life flashes by you
Yes.
through pop culture alone.
Yes.
You see your friends and relatives aging right with you. So you don't, they're 20, they're 30, they're 40, whatever it is. You
Yeah.
see that right through. But then one day you're jassi, and then suddenly you're this, which is not to say that you're old. Please do not take me the wrong way. But,
Not at all.
Yeah, but you know what I mean.
Of course I know what you
How
mean.
do you look at it? Because like one day you're playing this, this young girl,
Yeah.
big glasses,
Yeah.
like all these adolescent issues, and then you're Amir Khan's mother.
Well, Lal's mother.
Yeah, Lal Singh Chadda's mother. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's been a fabulous journey, and for me to say yes to a role like to play Lal's mother was so challenging. I was like, okay, let's do this, bring it on. I'm here to explore, I'm here to experiment, and also to find out whether I can do this or not.
Right.
Yeah, so there you are, and people loved it. People really appreciated my character.
Right. But how do you look back at Jassi now? Like, does it just seem like another life?
It does seem like another life. It's been 20 years. I started in 2003, and that was the time I moved to Bombay. And earlier, Jassi used to be my first name, but now it has become my second. So it's been a beautiful journey. You see, Jassi gave me everything. It was an overnight stardom, overnight success.
Right.
People wait for something like that to happen in their career, and that happened with my first show. So, yeah.
Right. So, if I'm not mistaken, there was this huge, not revealing
Yeah.
who's playing Jassi,
Yes.
all that kind of stuff. The Jassi Jaisi Koi Nahi was like, there was a big promotional thing.
Yes,
which
there was this
fairly-
whole mystery behind who is Jassi. There was this whole promotional campaign going on with hoardings in Bombay. Kaun hai Jassi? Who is Jassi? Have you seen her? Then I remember for the promotions, there were these 50 ladies dressed up in pink salwar kameez with umbrellas saying, who is Jassi? So, that kind of launch, it was a dream launch for me. Yeah.
Right. And how has it been since then? In the sense that, typically one gets to hear from stars, who pretty much say, Bollywood is this, Bollywood is that, there's this, there's that, and all that. But, one rarely hears about what I'm going to put in quotes, right? A character actor's journey,
Yeah.
right? Because I think acting is acting, but,
Yes.
there are these terms that are used. What is that journey like? Is that, I know you say you've got a dream start, but do you know what it typically is? Is it just based on person to person, or what I want to become a character actor, what do I do?
You become the character, you play the part.
No,
see,
but to get to play the part, whose
you
doors
have
do I
to
knock
audition,
on?
you have to go all out.
It's the same as being an
it's the
a
same.
lead actor.
It's the same.
Okay.
You have to be, you have to meet the right people at the right time. You have to socialize a little. You have to go meet casting directors now. The times have changed. Now they're casting directors, always looking out for, new names. Also for me, I think it wasn't easy even to get Jassi. I used to come from Pune to Bombay for auditions, and I had not moved to Bombay even then. So my parents used to always tell me that, first get something concrete and then move to Bombay. And then of course Jassi happened. But after that, it was a conscious effort that since I've been a part of such a cult show with such an unconventional, debut, I'd rather stick to unconventional choices. So I didn't want to get into the rigmarole of regular TV stuff, being a bahu and getting
Hero sister.
tortured by Saas. I didn't want to do all that. So,
Right.
Yeah.
And even your shows have been fairly unique.
Very, very unique.
Yeah.
I've been lucky.
Is that why you even when it comes to films, you've been fairly picky about the roles that you choose.
I have always been picky, but I think now also after Lal Singh Chadda, people have realized that, she's not that one size fit all actor. The role needs to be etched out for me, and which is why, the makers also take some time in casting me. But I think what has changed after Lal Singh is, the creators, the writers, producers have seen this whole versatility. And now I'm getting so many different offers. I am busy the whole year. I'm just shooting, and most of my characters are so different from one another. I'm also playing Grey, which I never have. So I'm experimenting. And of course, with OTT coming in such a good way and big way, actors like me are throughout busy now.
Yeah, that neat segue to Made in Heaven
Yes.
season 2. So OTT.
That too.
Yeah. So what is this secret thing you're doing in the show?
You see, Rangan, I've been so fortunate that every show that I've done, my character has always been under wraps. Always. There's a mystery behind
Yeah,
it.
but this just like it's happened right from Jassi, right?
Jassi, Lal Singh, now Made in Heaven, it's under wraps. I can't talk about it
Right.
because, of course, there's an NDA.
You know, there is a thing about, a character being under wraps, because unless you turn out to be doing something really dramatic,
Yeah.
it's going to like backfire because it's like, that's it, like this was the mystery,
Well, I'm sure it wouldn't. It's a solid role. It's a dream to be working with a team like Zoya, Reema.
Yeah. Like, no, but when you ask actors, sometimes, they just say, I'm a director's actor. That is, I pretty much do what the director wants me to do. There are others who, they read the script, they bring in their own notes, inputs, and so on and so forth, and have discussions with the director. Sometimes going to the extent of even saying, would my character do this? Would my character do that? What's your...
I'm the same. I ask a lot of questions.
Right.
But I'm also a very intuitive and a spontaneous actor. I am also a director's actor. I love to listen.
You got to pick a side.
Well, I think it's mostly internal. We do have rehearsals and a lot of readings now. Thanks to OTT, you have a bound script in hand.
Right.
You get to prep, which doesn't happen in TV. Garam script is given to you.
Because it's like a daily thing.
Ma'am,
Yeah,
you're seen.
yeah.
I'm like, okay. But now things have changed and things have evolved. So yeah, for me, it's more of an internal journey for any character that I'm prepping for.
Right. Now, that show where you have all this talk about sexual abuse.
Yes.
Like
Kafas.
Kafas, right?
Yes.
What is that internal journey like? I want to ask you about Made in Season 2, but you won't tell me anything. So
I won't be able
so
to.
that's what I'm saying. So I might as well ask about something else. So what's that internal journey like? Because, one of the toughest things is to talk about an issue,
Yeah.
but also not make it sound like a messaging thing.
Yeah.
To play real characters.
Not sound preachy. Yes.
But bring the issue through something that the characters are undergoing, rather than just say, this is wrong, something like
Yeah.
that. What is that?
And that is how the show was, nobody was saying this is right or wrong. Everybody was grey, everybody was flawed.
Right.
It was very well written and directed. But I just feel as an actor, I've heard of such instances. There are friends whose kids or, some actor has gone through some kind of a casting couch and not treated well. Then kids who have been abused in school or by a watchman in the society. I met my friends again and we were discussing, how did the parents cope? What did they do? How do you deal with the kid?
You talk to the parents?
I did. Because they are my friends. And they also kept the whole matter under wraps. It was pretty... They were thinking that, it is embarrassing for them to talk about it. But I was like, why should you be embarrassed? Your son is the victim.
Right.
So you should not make the victim feel guilty about what's happened to the person. So I think it's a constant battle between morality and power. And the fact that, the script was written so well, I was there, I was all out.
Right. No, so your internal journey, when you go through the script and you read the script, are there particular points that you pick out and say, okay, these are the traits that I should highlight?
There were a lot of silences which were highlighted in the show. There
Okay.
were a lot of silences. And Sahil, our director, he just wanted to make sure that, she's not the kind of person who's going out there and fighting with people and talking shit. She's more taking it internally, staring at a, dilapidated corner of the house and wondering what is she going to do. But of course she's gutsy, and which is why, she stands up for what is right for her child. And yeah, so I enjoyed playing Seema Vashisht.
Right. But when you look back at Jassi, right? I mean, of course, made you a star, so on and so forth, all that is there. But at that point, even at that point, were you fairly evolved as an actor? Did you know?
Not at all.
Okay.
I was learning on the go.
Okay.
You
So
see, I
you knew
didn't
you
have,
wanted to be an actor,
I always wanted to be an
but
actor.
you didn't.
I didn't have any training.
Right.
When I was in school, when I was in college, I used to participate in skits and, the school acts. I used to write and direct. Then I used to dance a lot in school, I used to be actively participating in most of the dramas in
Correct.
school, but never had a professional training. So I think TV is that, ground where it teaches you everything.
Right.
It teaches you about lighting, your mark, your continuity, everything. And I'm a quick learner. So for me, it was not easy, but I was willing to learn. And I was open to every kind of experience during Jassi.
Right. Is TV acting different from film acting?
Slightly. Now that I look
Is
back,
the meter a little higher?
TV is a little louder.
Right.
They emphasize on the one look that you have to keep staring into the blank. And now it feels weird doing that, but it works. It worked back then. Now
I
that
think
I'm
it still
doing
works.
it still works,
Yeah.
but I'm not watching TV and not being a part of any TV show now. I don't have the right frame of mind or patience to be part of a show for 2 years or 3 years. OTT has spoiled me in that aspect.
Right.
I rather get in and out, do one character for 3-4 months, and then you prep for something else. But sorry, what did you ask me about the character?
About your role in Made in Heaven and what this
Yeah, so Jassi.
I was trying to be smooth there, but
Oh,
clearly
very.
it didn't work. Yeah, so.
I don't remember what we were discussing.
No, we were talking about like your training and you're not being a trained actor.
Yes, so
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
pretty raw. I think now if I get the part, I'll do a completely different thing, altogether.
Right. What?
I don't know.
Yeah, okay. You just say you'd be probably more into it rather than.
I'll be more aware. I'll be, you with age, you mature, you learn so much, you meet so many people, you imbibe so many things, you observe,
Right.
you absorb, and you become a better actor and a person, in these 20 years.
Right.
So I don't think I'll be able to do Jassi now. Not
Yeah,
at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You observe people, right? Now, obviously, I'm going to ask you an Amir Khan question because
Yes.
he's probably the highest profile star you've acted with.
Twice.
Twice.
Yes.
So what does he give you on the set? I mean, like, is there something that you've seen and said, okay, that's something that I need to pick up in my bag of tools, like.
He's so good with every take and every rehearsal. He keeps changing his emotions, his reactions. He just keeps changing. He keeps trying something new.
Right.
Okay, let's do this. Now let's do this. Even on like when I was shooting for Three Idiots, that was the first time I was working with the entire team, and I saw Amir sir. I was like, oh my God, what is he doing? We had some 100 rehearsals. And in those rehearsals, every time he came up with something different.
Is 100 like just metaphorical?
Just metaphoric.
Right.
But every time he would do something else. And as a TV actor, you see, I wasn't used to rehearsals. I would get tired. I'm like, Arey, why are we rehearsing so much? So they're like, Mona, this is a movie. What are you talking about? This is not a TV show or an episode going out tomorrow. This movie, it'll release next year. We have to work hard. We'll do one scene a day. One scene a day. I used to get so bored. I'm like, what am I going to do? The DOP used to be lighting for 4-5 hours and things used to go on, la-di-da. But yeah, you enjoy the pace then. You give in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is that thing, right? A lot of acting is just waiting.
It is.
It is.
A lot of it is waiting,
Yeah.
especially in movies and big budget movies.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
wait it out. And that is your testing time. What do you do?
Right.
So I was spending all my time with AK and Advait on set. I hardly went to my vanity. And AK, Amir knows about everything. Writing, acting, lighting, direction, everything. You talk about anything and he has something to say.
Right.
So there's so much to learn from, this
Somebody-
genius.
Yeah. Is there anybody else that's impacted you professionally? Zoya. Okay.
Such a good person to work with.
Right.
We only heard stories about Zoya, how wonderful she is, and she sets new benchmarks and a great director. But she actually is. I've had a first-hand experience with Zoya. She's a wonderful person. We went to France to shoot Made in Heaven. We were there for 22 days.
There you give away something.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
We not only shot there and worked there, but we also chilled a lot together. And I really look up to her. What a person, yeah.
Can you tell me something about how she directs an actor? Like,
She lets you be. I
okay.
mean, you know, at the time of reading and rehearsals, she's out there giving her inputs that I think you should try this tone, I think you should do something else. We discussed a lot of body language. We discussed how I should portray it's a very different character from what I play till now. And there are two parallel
You're
stories
being
going
very
on.
good with this.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, really, you're
There-
keeping it under wraps really well. Yeah.
There are two parallel stories going on in my life in the show. So with Neeraj Ghehwan, Alankrita, Nitya, we had many sessions of readings. But Zoya lets you be. She will not interfere till the time she feels the need to.
Right.
You know, so when we were shooting in France, she's directed 2 episodes. So she was telling me, Mona, aise nahi, let's try this. I'm like, okay. And she's very calm. She keeps the whole unit together. You know, everybody feels happy and not under pressure when Zoya's on set.
Right.
Yeah, so
How
it
do
was
you
a
handle
great
it?
learning.
How do you handle it when there's an un-Zoya-like director, where there's screaming, lots of tension, pressure, so on and so forth? What do you do?
I've seen that in TV. I
Right.
switch off.
You switch off?
I switch
You
off.
just stay in a bubble?
Yes, I
Okay.
switch off. I go to my van. I don't interact with anybody. I don't let the outer things, you know, affect me.
Right.
So I've seen that a lot in TV because every director is under pressure. And now there's more pressure because serials are Monday to Sunday. And you got to deliver those, you know, 23 minutes every day. There's a
Right.
lot of pressure.
Right.
So yeah, I just cut off.
After finishing Jassi, you said, I was being Jassi for so long that I'd forgotten how to be Mona.
Yeah.
After inhabiting something, like you said, non-stop for so long,
Yeah.
do you sometimes, does it take a while to get back to real life? Because films are not like that. You get the waiting time, the unwind time, so on and so forth. But here you're pretty much being another character so many days a week.
Yes.
How do you return to being yourself?
I couldn't because I didn't have any training how to switch off. I used to carry that emotion back with me at home and worry, oh my God. If I had crying scenes all day, I used to just be in that mode all day. I used to listen to all emotional songs and just be in that zone.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then I realized it's not good for me, you know, and it's not good for my family around me because I didn't want to talk to anybody after I came home. I was so mentally exhausted because also being a protagonist, you're there in every scene. So when Jassi got over, for me, everything came to a standstill.
Right.
Suddenly my phone wasn't beeping, there was no call time, there was no thing or set to go back to. So I felt, now what am I going to do? I felt so lost. Then I went for a vacation and then of course Sony signed me on for an exclusive and I did many shows with them, hosting, participating in
right.
reality shows, and then life of course took its own course.
And now you're cooler about the whole thing.
Yes. Now I switch on and I switch off. You tell me to cry in a scene, I'll take 10 minutes in my van, I'll be out there and ready.
Okay, cool. So
Yeah.
you don't need to be method about it.
No. But I just need to be in my own space. I can't interact too much and go ha ha he he on set. Unless it's a comedy series or a slice of life series
Right,
where you
right,
need to
right.
be in that
Out
frame
there.
of mind.
Yeah. Was it tough being this top star on TV and then having to realign your frame of mind to saying, okay, now I'm no longer the top tier. Now I've got to begin a kind of struggle all over again because, you know what I mean, right? It's like, it's not a struggle exactly, but it's kind of,
It's a struggle,
It
if
is.
you see. It's a struggle for everyone in this industry
Right.
trying to do something better than the last.
right. So because now you know that you're going to get top TV offers if you had continued there.
TV, yes.
Because you started out a star, you were getting the best
Yes.
deals, shows, etc. But then you're saying, now I want to try this, and you're starting again from
Yeah.
like the lowest rung.
Yes.
What's that like?
See, that was like participating in reality shows. I participated in a dance reality show. I won it. So I was like, okay, now what? I didn't know how to dance professionally, which I learned. Then I was like, okay, now what? I was like, okay, let me try hosting. You see, it's just one life. I've never taken anything too seriously. But as a person, I've always wanted to try something new,
Right.
something that challenges me, something that I fear, you know. So I've done hosting, I did theatre. I did theatre with Rael Padamsee. Rohit Roy and I did a play together called Unfaithfully Yours. So there were many things that I kept trying. And then, of course, Three Idiots
This is
happened.
the one about the Hitlerian theme, Unfaithfully Yours.
No, it isn't that.
Sorry, this man suspects his wife of having an affair.
No.
Not the
It's-
movie.
No, not
Okay,
the movie.
okay.
Not the movie. It's a very old play which
Okay.
Ryle revived. It's about two people who are
Noel
already.
Coward.
Sorry?
Noel Coward.
No, 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 no,
Okay,
no.
all right.
No.
Okay, sorry, I'll stop trying to identify this. Right, right,
No.
right.
But yeah, so I wanted to try all different things. I was like, there cannot be anything bigger than Jassi for me right now. So let me try doing different things and explore and see what happens. So then Three Idiots happened. Then, things kept happening for me. And now with OTT, it's a whole new phase for me in my life.
But I
So
love how you just say 3 days happened like it just happened.
it just happened.
Right.
I was in New York. I was hosting a Bollywood evening, and Raju Hirani was attending that award function. And he just asked me, he's like, Mona, I'm writing something and I want you to read and be a part of it. So I was like, so filmy you are, sir. He's like, I am not. I am serious. I was like, okay. So then I went and I met him when we came back from New York. And then he's like, read the script and let me know what you feel because I want you to play this part.
Right.
And I want you to be called Mona in the movie. I was like, okay. And then he told me there's Amir Khan, Madhavan, Sharman. I was like, oh. I want to play Karina's part, and he laughed. He's like, "हाँ वो तो करीना ही करेगी." I was like, "ठीक है, I'll be her sister."
No, but if this situation was written in a screenplay,
Yeah.
people would not believe it.
They
and
would not
say,
believe.
They'll say, this is too filmy. Like, this
I didn't believe myself. I was like, "Really, you're joking?" But when he came back, he called me after 2 months. He remembered, and that's how Three Idiots happened to me. And I still remember my first day at shoot. Raju sir announced on the mic that, oh, welcome to Bollywood, Mona. This is your first movie and your first shot. And the whole unit clapped for me. I was like, wow, how graceful.
Did you cry?
A little.
Yeah. It sounds like a big emotional moment, So I was
Yes,
like,
sir.
yeah. So, do you read reviews?
Yes, I
When
do.
good things are written about you, how do you handle them? And when bad things are written about you, how do you handle them?
Good and bad, I read all. I read every review. And then, of course, the bad, you just let it go.
Right.
If it is too personal bad, you still let it go. Don't let it affect you. But earlier, it used to affect me. But now it doesn't. You see, because everyone has their own opinion. Not everyone has to like your work. But some who do, who appreciate you, I value. I value both. I value critics' reviews also. It's okay. It's a part and parcel of our industry.
Right, but sometimes, it can get vicious.
Well, not for me,
You
not
haven't, has it
really.
happened
I
for you?
haven't.
Okay, right.
Thankfully, I've
That-
never been
that's-
trolled.
You've been, yeah.
There have never been any silly remarks or comments on any of the social networking sites that I'm on. None. Very few.
Right.
Yeah. So.
But if you've really put in a lot of hard work and somebody says this show or this movie is just not working, does that kind of...
You feel bad, you're human, but then you have to let go and move on
Right.
and try something new and get onto a new project.
So how does that process work itself out? Like
It takes time, yeah.
Okay.
You got to go on a
do
vacation.
you keep thinking of that one
I do.
sentence? Like it keeps playing in your mind?
Sometimes it does, yes.
Right.
Sometimes it doesn't leave you, and then what do you do?
Yeah, because one actor told me that, a director told me that, he told me that he was really very disappointed that I had written a particular line about the movie.
Oh.
I said, but this is a rave, like I've raved about it. I said, the one thing that did not work for me was this. So the 1,450 words about the goodness of the film.
You let that go and
they
you
just went
concentrate
away.
only on that.
And the
yeah.
20 words, that 25 words, that's
Human nature.
right.
That's human nature.
Yeah.
You see.
So I was like, and then I was like, did I write something wrong? And then I went back and read it, and it looked like, and it wasn't even worded in a trolly way.
Okay.
It was more like, what didn't work for me was this. But that's why I asked you, does that one line or one...
Sometimes it does bother me, but then you have to deal with it and move on.
Right.
It may take its own sweet time, but you live with it.
Right.
You address the issue and then you move on.
Yeah.
At least you're not carrying any baggages with you that, oh, this person wrote that and I'm never going to give an interview or talk to that guy. I'm not like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
So speaking of addressing the issue, I have to ask you about Meri Marzi. Where is it now? Is it like thriving still? As it, are you finding the time to kind of...
I am.
Right.
In fact, we recently had an event of Meri Marzi where all my, community members came to meet me. And we discussed a lot of things about life, about how women should be, how our decisions, we should take responsibility of our own decisions.
Right.
I keep posting videos. So yeah, it is pretty active.
Yeah, so I mean, for the uninitiated, it's this online app-based community
Yes.
for women,
Only for
talking,
women.
well, for talking about issues.
Yes.
How have you seen this helping people?
You see, I think most of the women suffer from not being, the only complaint most of the women have is of not being heard. They're not looking for solutions. Someone should just listen to them.
They just want to speak.
They want
and
to
someone
speak.
to listen to them. Okay.
They want to talk. There are issues they want to talk about. And sometimes they feel so lonely that they feel lost. Most of the women are often told what to wear, where to go, what to do, what not to do, who to marry, what career to choose. So I think women are always suppressed, but now things are changing, times have changed. But there are still women who are not so privileged, who can, make their own decisions or do things on their own terms. So I created my own community called Meri Marzi, because that is how I have lived my life, unconventional and doing my own thing, not caring about society.
Right.
So that is what I tell them, that it is your life.
Right.
And you only realize that when you know that this is the only life I have, and I got to do something about it.
Right.
So I'm here to, give them an ear and also talk about my life and give my examples as to how I dealt with my issues.
Right. But there's also one strange thing that happens. It's like, so many women, take the decision to freeze eggs, for instance.
Yeah.
But when an actor talks about it, it suddenly becomes headline news. That becomes the one focus of,
Yeah.
of all the other things that you've done. Oh, Mona Singh, she was Jassi, she was, Lal Singh, she was something else, All that kind of goes on. I froze my
Frozen eggs.
Yeah, so that becomes the
Yeah.
thing. Is that helpful when an actor brings a subject like that out into the world? Because it's not exactly an unknown thing, but does it help reach the community that you are addressing with Meri
I think
Marzi?
somewhere it does. It creates a lot of awareness. You see, when an actor endorses a product and the sales goes up to 5% also for a company, imagine what will happen if an actor talks about these social issues.
Right.
It changes people, it creates more awareness. So I think that is why, and now I'm doing a campaign with the pole of fertility about freezing eggs. There you go.
Yeah.
So one article did that.
Right.
Yeah, so which is why I'm always there talking about things happening in my life.
Right. So coming back to Made in Heaven 2, yeah, what were you going to tell me again?
Highly anticipated.
That's all. That's it. Come on, you
Well,
have to.
I recently gave a quote that, when I watched the show, imagine it's the only show that is worldly and wildly accepted. It also got an Emmys nomination.
Right.
Yeah, so, and it's the most anticipated show.
Right.
When I was watching season 1, I was like, why am I not a part of it? I was feeling jealous. So when I got a call, I think this was 2 years ago, yeah, when I got a call from Zoya's team, I was more than happy. I couldn't believe my ears. I was like, really, you have called me? I've never met them. I've never done any, social hi hellos also with them, because I mostly don't attend filmy parties. So it was quite a surprise for me to receive a call from them.
Did you ask them, what is it that you saw of mine that made you want to talk to me?
I didn't ask. But Zoya kept raving about Jassi. She's like, oh, Jassi. I remember during Jassi, Zoya had called me for a movie, which didn't work.
Okay.
Yes,
So
yes,
this was
yes.
like long before Luck by Chance.
While I
obviously.
was
Yeah.
doing Jassi,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think it must have been for Luck by Chance.
Okay.
Must have. Because Luck by Chance came after Jassi.
Yeah.
So I met her at that time.
So you
And
did say your hi hellos.
Yes, I did. Now
So,
that
yeah,
we're
so-
talking about it. Yes, I did.
Right.
But I was pleasantly surprised, I got a call from Zoya.
Right. Thank you so much for talking about or not talking about some of the shows.
You're welcome.
But it's been a pleasure, because I really appreciate the fact that when people who have a certain standing and who in society and a certain voice, they kind of talk about certain things. I think more than anything else, it helps certain people feel that they are not alone.
Alone,
And they are
yes.
not, even if their friend has done the same thing, that somehow does not carry the same impact as if somebody in the movies or somebody culturally out there
Yeah.
says the same thing. I don't know what the psychology is, but there's something about
There's something about actors.
actors or any other
in this
like,
field,
in this
actually.
field. Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
So
yes.
that's something. So more power to you, and thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate.
Holidays nale nama GT Holidays da South India's #1 travel brand.
Rubilux Rockfort Paints.